Okay, now we're looking at 41 and 42 and 43. Okay, so this has to do with putting the back into the back grooves that we made. All right, now I did have you cut it to a certain size, but this size is not the exact size of what we need. Okay, so how are we going to go about figuring that out? Right, so first thing it talks about in 41, it says the back should be 3/4 wider than your bottom. Okay, make sure that your back slides freely in the dado. Okay, so how do we go about doing that? So a lot of people will make the mistake, they'll just go through and measure from here to here, okay, and they'll get their answer. Now, if you're perfect, yeah, very well could work for you, but it's not too often that we're going to be perfect, okay? So the best way to do is take and measure the width of your bottom. Okay, it should be at 2.5 inches or right around there. Okay, excuse me, not 2.5 inches, but 12.5 inches. Okay, so that's one of the things I went through and graded you on. Okay, so and why do I add 3/4 of an inch to it? Well, if you look at the depth, if we did it right, we should be 3/8 of an inch on each side. Okay, and remember, if you take 3/8 plus 3/8 equals 3/4. Okay, so if you add your width of your bottom, which should be 12.5, plus 3/4 of an inch, okay, it should end up at 13 1/4 inches. Okay, may not be. Don't go taking my word for it, because your bottom may be a little bit different. Your dados possibly could be a little bit different. Okay, so you have to check those. All right. So what we'll do is we'll take and we will set the table saw and we will rip it. Okay, we'll rip it down to what we need, and then we'll joint those saw blade marks off. And what that'll do is it'll take 1/16 of an inch off, so to allow for a little bit of expansion when this thing swells up, okay, when it gets cemented up. All right, so that's what we'll do for our how we get our width. All right, and then how we get our height. So we should have an end that has an X on it. Okay, we know that's squared. Okay, from here, all we'll do, make sure you have a pencil that's sharp. Okay, put it up here and trace that. Now, if that happens, after that happens, we're going to go to this side and look at the same thing, and it should be the same. Okay, if it's not the same, come and get me, and I'll help you figure that out, how we adjust for that. Okay, but otherwise, we'll take and we will go to the table saw with the white push board and cross cut this to get it to this height. Okay, also our thickness should slide in here nice and easy. Okay, if it doesn't, we may have to bring it through the wide belt sander and just bring it down to make it slide. Okay, so that is steps 41, 42, and 43.